Be her. Greater than 23 years old girl living in New York. Studying classes, part-time barista gig too. Been with boyfriend Mike for 3 years. Best friend Ashley always around our circle. Life felt small, but kinda perfect honestly. Morning coffee together, his "good morning babe" texts. Nights with Netflix, cheap takeout, cozy weekends. Brooklyn trips like mini adventures we cherished. I thought love was solid, unshakable forever. Then one small detail cracked everything wide open. Mike started laughing at his phone constantly. Would lock the screen real quick when I looked. I asked, "Who's that?" Heart already sinking. He said calm. "Just work group chat." But later I saw a name flash clear. Ashley. My best friend's name on his screen. Cold knot twisted deep in my stomach hard. Why would he text her like that? Couldn't shake the thought all night long. Days passed, suspicion growing like wildfire inside me. Went out one night, saw them together. Arrived early at the bar, frozen doorway. Mike and Ashley laughing close by the counter. She smiled bright, said, "Hey, you're here." My brain only screamed she knows something. Later that night, phone buzzed on his table. Message glowed. "Thanks for today." Heart sank so fast, it almost hurt physically. He kissed my cheek absent, whispered, "Love you." But it felt cold, hollow, not meant for me. Woke from nightmare of them together in my bed. Worse, realizing awake felt the same as dream. I confronted him, voice shaking. "You've changed." He asked blankly, "What do you mean?" I snapped back, "You and Ashley," chest burning. His silence hit harder than words could ever. Empty pause between us felt like confirmation already. Trust shattered without proof, just fear alone. Rage took over, couldn't hold back anymore. Started shouting, accusing him straight to his face. "You cheated with Ashley, admit it already." His eyes widened, not anger, just pure hurt. He whispered sharp, "If you don't trust me, what's even the point of us anymore?" Then grabbed his jacket, slammed the door hard. Sound echoed like the end of everything we built. I stood shaking, phone slipping from my hands. Threw it at the wall, screen shattered instantly. Tears blurred vision, sobs ripping out my chest. I kept screaming, but no one could hear. My words drowned in empty apartment silence. He was gone, and I was alone. The man I loved, erased in one night. My fears louder than his promises ever were. Couldn't breathe, couldn't think, just collapsed on floor. Wondering if love ever existed at all, or if it was just me holding on. Days turned into endless nights full of anger. Wrote Ashley, fingers shaking with pure rage. "I know everything. You're no friend, just a thief." Hit send, chest pounding like a drum. No reply, just silence stabbing me deeper. Deleted every picture of Mike off Instagram. Blocked his number, told friends he cheated. Spread my pain like fire, hoping for relief. But relief never came, just darker nights. Staring at mirrors with empty eyes. Scrolling old messages until screen burned my sight. Bed cold, phone silent, heart screaming inside. Week passed, life felt like black tunnel. No smiles, no colors, just void everywhere. Convinced I lost him to betrayal, to her. When truth was, I was losing myself faster. Pushed everyone away, even those who cared. All I had left was fear and silence. And the story I told myself nonstop. A week later, finally Ashley texted back. Message short, "You've got it all wrong." My chest tightened, hands shaking reading it. She asked to meet, said we needed talk. I almost ignored, but anger pulled me there. Cafe smelled like burnt espresso, chatter around us. She grabbed my hands. Eyes serious, steady. "Listen, he wasn't cheating with me at all." My stomach flipped, didn't believe a single word. She said Mike had been planning surprise. Was looking at rings, wanted proposal soon. He came to me for advice, nothing else. The messages, the laughs, it all made sense. Flashbacks of moments hit me one by one. The weird phone calls, the late night smiles. They weren't betrayal, they were plans for me. My throat closed, couldn't swallow the truth down. I destroyed love with my own paranoia. I accused him when he was planning forever. Realized I broke what I was desperate to keep. Ran straight to his apartment that night. Stairs blurred, heart racing with regret heavy. Knocked hard, prayed he'd answer the door. Silence echoed back, no footsteps inside. Peeked through window, saw rooms already empty. His stuff gone, like he never lived there. Panic hit harder than any nightmare ever could. Called his number nonstop. Each ring useless. Screen finally flashed, number not available. My messages green bubbles, no reply at all. Collapsed on hallway floor clutching my phone. Tears dripping onto cracked screen glass. The man I loved vanished completely overnight. Not because he cheated, but because I accused. He didn't betray me. I betrayed us first. My trust shattered, everything before it could grow. Alone in silence, realizing too late the truth. Maybe I erased myself from his life. With nothing left but guilt and regret now. Weeks passed, regret heavier than any heartbreak. Scrolled through socials, pretending not to search. Then one night, I saw his picture posted. Mike smiling wide, arm around new girl. Caption simple. Congrats, man. Glad you moved on. My chest collapsed, breath caught in my throat. This was it, final nail in the coffin. He didn't cheat, he didn't betray. He just left after I tore us apart. Truth burned worse than any lie could. I lost him not to another woman, but to my own fear and suspicion. The irony cut sharper than a knife. He wanted forever, I gave him doubt. He offered love, I handed him mistrust. And trust once broken doesn't come back. I sat staring at screen for hours. Realized maybe I wasn't the betrayed one. Maybe I was the one who betrayed. And that thought haunted me more than losing him. Nights grew longer, guilt clawed at me. Every memory replayed with painful clarity. His silence after my screams, his broken eyes. Those words he left me with echo still. If you don't trust me, what's the point? I ignored the truth until it was gone. Friends asked what happened, I stayed quiet. Couldn't admit the villain was me this time. World painted me victim, but mirror told truth. I had destroyed what was pure and real. No chance to explain, no chance to fix. Just echoes of laughter that used to be ours. Sat in my empty room with cold coffee. Wishing I could rewind to that night. Wishing I chose faith instead of fear. But life doesn't hand back chances like that. He moved on, and I'm left with lessons. Sometimes the betrayal isn't theirs, it's yours. And that's the hardest wound to heal. Tried to focus on school, on work. But every latte I poured carried his face. Every couple walking in twisted the knife deeper. Kept asking myself, what if I stayed quiet? What if I trusted him instead of Ashley's texts? Maybe I'd be wearing that ring right now. Instead, I'm wearing guilt heavier than gold. Sat on subway, watching strangers pass by. Imagining alternate life where we survived. Heart clenching at every thought of his smile. Wanted to call him, beg for forgiveness. But his number's still dead, unreachable forever. Even if he answered, what would I say? Sorry for accusing you of cheating on me? Those words wouldn't fix the damage I caused. Sometimes sorry is too late, too useless. So I kept quiet, drowning in regret. Hoping one day guilt would finally fade. But it clung tighter than any heartbreak ever did. Month later, Ashley reached out again gently. She said, stop punishing yourself endlessly. Her voice calm, eyes full of pity. I wanted to scream, but tears spilled instead. Told her, I ruined the only good thing. She shook her head, whispered, you ruined trust. And trust is the backbone of any love. Without it, nothing else can stand long. Those words cut deep, sharper than truth itself. Because she was right, I knew it inside. Sat in that cafe, hands shaking badly. Coffee went cold as guilt swallowed me whole. She hugged me, but it felt empty. Forgiveness from her meant nothing without his. And his forgiveness was gone forever now. Walked home in rain, shoes soaked, hair dripping. City lights blurry through streaming tears. Wondered if I'd ever feel whole again. Or if I'd always live in that mistake. Winter came fast, city wrapped in gray. Holidays buzzing, but I felt only cold. Stores full of couples buying gifts for each other. I walked past clutching my empty hands tight. Every sparkling ring display stabbed my chest. Thinking one of them was supposed to be mine. Instead, I traded love for paranoia. Nights alone with journal became my routine. Scribbled messy lines like, I ruined us. Pages filled with guilt thicker than snow outside. Sometimes wrote his name, then scratched it out. Ink smeared, tears dripping on the paper. Wrote questions I knew had no answers left. Why didn't I just trust the man I loved? Why did I hand him suspicion instead? Apartment too quiet, walls closing tighter. I curled up wishing time could rewind itself. But clocks only moved forward without mercy. And I was stuck behind in broken trust. Friends tried to pull me back to life. Invited me to parties, dinners, late-night talks. I went once, fake smile plastered on. Laughed at jokes, but heart stayed frozen solid. Inside, I replayed his voice every second. If you don't trust me, what's the point? Those words felt like curse branded forever. Couldn't drink enough wine to drown them out. Couldn't dance enough songs to erase them. Went home early, slipped under blankets crying. Realized loneliness was safer than fake comfort. Stopped answering texts, stopped opening doors. Walls grew higher. Silence became my roommate. But deep down, I knew hiding wouldn't save me. At some point, I'd need to face myself. Look in mirror and own the damage I caused. He didn't cheat. He didn't lie. I was the one who broke it all. Truth heavier than heartbreak, crushing every breath. Spring finally came, city blooming with color. But my world still stuck in grayscale shades. Walked past couples in parks holding hands. Each laugh a reminder of what I lost. Tried deleting old photos again from my phone. But froze, staring at his smile too long. He wasn't cruel. He wasn't fake at all. It was me who poisoned us with doubt. Threw phone on bed, face burning hot. Anger at myself louder than any heartbreak. Journal pages piling higher with regrets. Wrote, I was the storm one night. Couldn't stop crying after that line. It was the truest thing I'd written. Not Ashley, not Mike, not anyone else. I killed trust. I killed forever myself. Accepting that truth nearly ripped me apart. But hiding from it was killing me worse. So I kept writing, kept facing ugly honesty. Summer heat arrived, nights sticky and long. One evening, Ashley called me out again. She said, you need to stop bleeding alone. Met at rooftop bar, skyline glowing bright. Told her how guilt still chained my chest. She sighed, said, trust broken rarely heals back. But you can heal yourself if you choose. Her words lingered, bitter but strangely freeing. I couldn't bring Mike back, that's reality. But maybe I could bring myself back instead. Walked home that night through crowded streets. Looked up at lights, felt small but alive. Journal entry. He's gone, but I'm not. For once it felt like a starting line. Maybe forgiveness wouldn't come from him, but from the woman staring back in mirror. Smile cracked through tears, tiny but real. For first time in months, I believed survival possible. Not easy, but possible if I kept walking forward. Months later, I finally built some rhythm. Classes, coffee shifts, late-night journaling sessions. Days still heavy, but not unbearable anymore. Could laugh with coworkers without faking sometimes. Sunset walks turned into small healing rituals. City noises less cruel, more like background hum. One afternoon, I passed jewelry store downtown. Rings sparkled bright, but didn't stab this time. I just stared and thought, not yet. Because love's not dead, just waiting for better. Wrote in journal. I'll trust again someday. Words shaky, but didn't feel impossible anymore. It's wild how pain turns into quiet strength. I never thought I'd breathe without his shadow. But air felt easier, steps felt lighter now. Sure, scars still there, trust issues still raw. But at least I wasn't drowning daily anymore. At least I was learning to live again. And that alone felt like a small miracle. Fall rolled around, leaves crunching under boots. Streets painted gold, air crisp on my face. Met friends at diner one Friday night. We laughed till stomachs hurt, fries everywhere. They said, glad to have you back finally. I smiled real, not forced this time. Realized I hadn't thought of Mike all day. His ghost fading, my life filling again. Wrote in journal, he's not my forever. But maybe he was the lesson I needed. Lesson that trust is fragile, precious, everything. Lesson that fear can destroy what love builds. And lesson that healing takes longer than heartbreak. Looked around table, friends glowing in neon lights. Felt love in simpler ways, unshakable ways. The kind that doesn't vanish overnight. The kind I should have valued all along. Smiled soft, heart lighter than it's been in ages. For once I felt whole sitting right there. Winter crept back, streets glowing with lights. Holiday markets buzzing, couples bundled holding hands. I walked through alone, but not lonely. Bought hot cocoa, warmed my freezing fingers. Memories of Mike surfaced, but didn't sting. Just faded pictures in dusty corners of mind. His smile no longer sharp like a knife. More like a ghost I've learned to ignore. Wrote in journal, this year broke me. But it also rebuilt me into someone stronger. And reading those words, I believe them fully. Because heartbreak didn't kill me after all. It just taught me who I really am. I lost trust once, but gained self-respect. And that trade, as painful as it was, made me braver than I've ever been before. Looked at lights around me, smiled soft. For first time, holidays felt peaceful again. Not perfect, but good enough for healing. New Year's Eve came, fireworks above skyline. Friends gathered, champagne popping, countdown loud. I stood on balcony, city buzzing beneath. Felt cold wind, but warm glow inside. Wasn't thinking about Mike, not anymore. Instead thought about me, about fresh starts. About how trust must start within first, before giving it away to anyone else. Midnight hit, cheers exploded, hugs all around. I closed my eyes, whispered one wish. Please let me never betray myself again. Because that's the lesson I'll carry forever. Love can vanish, trust can break fast. But losing yourself is the real tragedy. And finding yourself again is the victory. Journal entry that night. New year, new me. Wrote it bold, underlined twice with pride. Closed book smiling, knowing I survived storm. And maybe this time, I'll never lose myself again. Spring came again, city blooming all over. Walked through park, flowers bursting in colors. Saw couples laughing, kids chasing bubbles wild. But no heaviness weighed me down anymore. I wasn't jealous, just calm and steady. Because love wasn't missing, it was inside me. Sat on bench sipping coffee, journal in lap. Wrote, I thought I lost everything last year. But really, I just lost my trust in myself. Now I was rebuilding it page by page. Mike was gone, but lessons stayed sharp. Never let fear speak louder than love. And never destroy what you're not sure about. Looked at sky, clouds drifting soft above. Smiled at thought of future not so scary. Sure, scars still here, but so was I. And that was more than enough now. I stood, walked forward into bright morning. Ready for life, ready for me again. So here's where I turn it to you. Would you forgive someone who doubted you like that? Or walk away like Mike did forever? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Because I know I'm not the only one. And if you've ever ruined your own love, hit that like button. Let's be honest. We've all made mistakes we can't take back. Subscribe if you want more real stories. Raw ones that cut deep but teach too. Because sometimes the worst heartbreak is self-made. And sometimes the only way forward is owning it. So tell me, do you think trust can ever be rebuilt once it's shattered? Or is it gone for good the moment it breaks? I'll be reading your answers, every single one. Because maybe someone else needs them too. Thanks for sticking till the very end. You're not alone, not ever. Remember that.